Hello, everybody. It is Monday, May 11th, and welcome back to the Nick Watkins Show. I'm Nick Watkins. Let's get into it. What a crazy day yesterday. Basketball, hockey, women's basketball, baseball, NBA draft lottery. So much happened. We're actually going to start with baseball because the Giants had a fantastic game yesterday. What a fun one. Uh, It was nuts. It was nuts. So the Giants won this game in 12 innings by a final score of 7-6. Giants had 7 runs on 13 hits and committed 2 errors. Pirates had 6 runs on 7 hits. They had 1 error. They walked 9 times in this game. The Giants walked 5 times. The Pirates left 13 runners on base, and the Giants left 16 runners on base. Crazy game. And it ended in the 12th inning when Jesus Rodriguez hit a walk-off single with the bases loaded. Ramos almost didn't score. He got confused that the ball might have been caught, so he had to run back to third before realizing it wasn't caught. It blooped into right field. He ran home. He was almost out, but he wasn't. And the Giants ended up winning the game. Crazy game. The Pirates struck first, and let's go through it. In the first inning, the Pirates struck first off of Molly because he walked Cruz. Cruz stole second, a throwing error from Rodriguez, moved him to third, and a single from Gonzalez knocked in Cruz to make it 1-0. Then Connor Griffin went deep, a 413-foot home run to make it 2-0. In the bottom of the third, Jung-Hoo Lee hit a double. Arias knocked him in with a single. Fast forward to the fourth inning, Elliot Ramos hit an absolute moonshot, 437-foot bomb, 110 off the bat to make it 2-2. Then the very next half inning, O'Neal Cruz hit a 360-foot home run off of Tyler Mahle, and then in the next inning, the sixth inning, Horwitz had a double that scored the O'Hearn from first. And that was Molly's day. He was pretty good. 5 2/3, 4 earned runs, 5 hits, and 8 strikeouts. We're going to talk about that in more in depth. But then you go to the sixth inning, and the Giants came into this inning trailing 4-2. And this, in my opinion, was the most important inning of the game. And it was the inning I was most impressed with for the Giants because in the sixth inning, you give up the run to make it 4-2. You come back with a double from Rafael Devers off the wall, and then a double from Elliot Ramos down the right field line. And then Matt Chapman, who is pretty much ice cold coming into this game, gets a double himself. So 3 doubles, a double. Adames grounds out, moves the runner up, and then Chapman hits a double. So that's a fantastic stretch of hitting for the Giants. And the big problem, of course, I've been talking about it, is they're not getting hits in a row. They're not getting hits in succession. And they had 3 doubles and 4 batters. Incredible. Additionally, to add on to that, Matt Chapman had the last double, the RBI to tie the game. And like I said, he's been pretty ice cold. And the swing, there was a fastball down in the way. He was still super early on it. It looked like he swung with one hand. And it was a nice, easy swing from Chapman. And if it goes that far and he's not swinging as hard as he could, that's a good sign. And he had 2 doubles in this game. And that's hopefully a sign of things to come. The sixth inning, especially the bottom half of the Giants offense, was the most important inning in this game, in my opinion. And then, I mean, chances on chances on chances for both teams because Molly came out of the game in the sixth inning. Bubba Chandler, he only went 5 innings. So the bullpen were the ones who came in for the Pirates and blew that lead. So in the seventh inning, what happened was there were runners on second and third, and Henches got a ground out from Gonzalez to strand 2 runners. Then the Giants went down 1-2-3 in the seventh. You go to the eighth inning, an error. Luis Arias committed his first error of the year, a walk to Cruz, a double play, a nice turn from Adames to get 2 outs, then a walk, and then a line out. Killian was able to escape that inning. So bases loaded, 2 outs, and you get a line out. Or not bases loaded, actually. I think somehow there was not a runner on third. I don't know where that came from. Whatever. Point is, Killian got out of it. Then you go to the eighth inning, and Rafael Devers hit a towering fly ball, 101 off the bat, his second double of the game. It went 351 feet, and it went off the Levi's landing sign, hit the L. Then Ramos lined out to right field. Then Adames got a single, but Devers was unable to advance. And then a flyout from Chapman and a ground out from Drew Gilbert sent it to the ninth inning, where aside from a leadoff walk, Peguero was pretty good. And then you go to the ninth inning, Giants go down 1-2-3. Go to the 10th inning, the automatic runner on. Then Ozuna gets hit by a pitch, and then a double from Horwitz clears the bases and makes it 6-4. And that's the 10th inning. They had 2 more outs after that. Yeah, Peguero, the stuff was pretty nasty in the 10th inning, but the control wasn't the best. He hit the batter and allowed the double to score the 2 runs. So now the Giants are down 6-4. You get that automatic runner, which was Arias, and then a strikeout from Bryce Eldridge. Rafael Devers drew a walk, and then he was pinch run for. Ramos grounded out, nothing you could do. So Adames comes up in the bottom of the 10th with 2 outs. And if there's one thing I've learned from watching Willy Adames play for the Giants in his short Giants career, it's that he's really good in clutch situations. And when those situations come around, he's pretty much swinging at the first pitch. And most of the time, he does something with that first pitch. Just from my memory, off the top of my head, opening day home opener against the Mariners last year, walk-off single, swung at the first pitch. He goes back to Milwaukee, his return to Milwaukee, hits 2 homers in that game, both on the first pitch of those at-bats. And then game 162 last year against Colorado, where he needed 1 home run to become the first Giant since Bonds to hit 30 in a season. First pitch of the game, he goes deep. So Adames is up there looking for that first pitch and looking to do damage with it, and that's what he did in the bottom of the 10th inning with 2 outs yesterday. He got a fastball above the zone at the letters, and he turned on it, sent it into left field at 97 miles an hour, scored both runners, and tied the game. Fantastic swing of the bat for Adames. Must have been pretty therapeutic for him because he has been struggling, but he was 3 for 6 in this game with 2 RBIs and an extra base hit. Love to see that from Willie. And then what happened next was a hit by pitch, then another hit by pitch. So Chapman and Gilbert got hit by pitches. Then Jesus Rodriguez came out with the bases loaded. And he said afterwards in the postgame that the moment was just a little too big for him. He wasn't himself. He tried to do too much. He swung and missed at 3 pitches that were, 2 of them were way outside the zone. Terrible swings, and the inning was over. Then you go to the 11th inning, and Dylan Smith opened the inning with a walk. Then Borucki came in. Borucki did not pitch well in his last outing the day before against the Pirates. Gave up a ton of runs, looked terrible. But in this inning, the 11th inning, he was very good. Got a strikeout of Cruz and then got Blau to line into a double play to end the inning. Then the Giants come up, 2 intentional walks and then 2 ground outs, take it to the 12th inning where Borucki comes back out for his second inning of work, gets a ground out, an intentional walk, an unintentional walk, and then a line out, and escapes another huge bases loaded jam. Ryan Borucki was fantastic yesterday. By far his best performance. Went 2 innings, struck out 1 batter, did walk 2, and got his first win of the season, his first win as a Giant. So Borucki, in addition to the entire bullpen, tough scenarios, tough positions to be put in, but they all delivered. Even Peguero, who gave up 2 runs, just 1 of them earned, the entire bullpen was good. They came into some very difficult spots, and time again, after each inning, especially in extras, they stranded the runners. They did a great job in this game, especially Borucki, who got his first win of the year. And he got that first win of the year because of what happened in the bottom half of the 12th inning. So the automatic runner was Ramos. Then Adames struck out. He had a good at-bat, but all the pitches were away. And the first pitch that was in was the last pitch, the 9th pitch of the at-bat. So it was a good at-bat from Adames, but the fastball got him the chase. Then Matt Chapman hit a double down the right field line that was, it was dropped by O'Hearn, but it still would have gotten Ramos over. But he dropped it, and it became a double. Ramos did not score on the play because he had see if it was going to be caught or not. An intentional walk to Drew Gilbert loads the bases, and that brings up Jesus Rodriguez again. And like I mentioned, he came up with the bases loaded 2 innings earlier and had a terrible at bat. Struck out on 3 nasty pitches that he looked terrible on, swinging way outside the zone. But he gets a chance for redemption. And this time, he gets a sinker way in on the hands, and he took it to right field. He went inside out and hit the ball, blooped it that way, and the Giants walk off the Pirates. Ramos did not know where the ball was. He had to go back. He went back and then ran forward. Almost did not score, but he did score, thankfully. And Rodriguez comes through, the rookie, with the game-winning hit. This is a huge game for the Giants because of the win that they got just by itself. Also, for what it means for momentum-wise, especially going down to LA today and until Thursday. But just to bring a team together, walk-off hits do that. They get the crowd into it, and they bring the team closer together. This was a great game, a great win for all the right reasons for the Giants. I'm very happy with it. It tested the team. It showed what they're made of. And in 12 innings, the Giants walk off the Pirates 7-6 on Mother's Day. Fantastic game. Let's look at some of the contributors, shall we? So the starting pitching matchup was Molly versus Chandler. And Molly was pretty good. This is the kind of outing you expect. The strikeout numbers a little high. The runs obviously 4. You'd rather have less, but a bit more strikeouts than expected, a bit more runs than expected. But overall, this is a pretty solid start for Molly. He goes 5 2/3, gives up 4 earned runs on 5 hits and 2 walks. You'll take that. That's not a bad effort. He did strike out 8 batters, which is great. He gave up 2 homers, a little bit too much. A lot too much. You don't want to go 2 homers, but it was a consistent start from Molly. He was pretty efficient, and although some innings were not the best, he still struck out 8 and kept the team in it the entire time. So it wasn't his best start, but it definitely wasn't his worst. He's had some stinkers, but it was a pretty good start from Tyler Molly. And then on the other side, Bubba Chandler, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. He struck out 3 batters, gave up 5 hits and a walk, and 1 home run. He got pulled with 77 pitches. I thought he could have gone deeper. But I was impressed with what I saw. The fastball velocity was very impressive. And then, of course, the bullpen. Definitely got to shout out the bullpen because a lot of guys came in tough situations and had to make pitches. And although it was dicey, they did walk a lot of batters, walked 9 batters, which is way too much. I was happy with the way the bullpen pitched. Hengis came in the 7th, and he only pitched, a third of an inning, but Hengis was good. This is his Giants debut, season debut. So Hengis came in and got it out. Piguero, he did give up 2 runs, just 1 earned, but I was impressed with the stuff. The control was a little suspect at the beginning, but he locked it in. He pitched well enough. Killian also walked 2 batters, but he did end up getting through it with no hits and no runs. Keaton Wynn, of course, was great. Dylan Smith, his Giants debut, he did walk a batter, but he was good. And then, of course, Barucki, who pitched the 11th and the 12th and did not allow a hit or a run. He did walk 2, did strike out 1, made some big pitches. Coming off his, for sure, worst performance of the year to now having his best performance of the year and getting his first win, that's a great thing for him, for the team, because we kind of need him to be that lefty specialist. And he had to go up against some righties, and he still did not allow a hit. So, Barucki, fantastic game, and this is a step in the right direction, hopefully for him. The entire pitching staff, it wasn't great, but it was good enough, and you'll take that for a struggling ball club. So the Giants get that win thanks to their pitching staff being clutch. And then we got to talk about the offense. The offense, much maligned offense, had 7 runs on 13 hits, and they also walked 5 times. What I'm not happy about is leaving 16 runners on base, but I am very happy because they had 3, 5, 7, 8 extra base hits in this game. So, I mean, there's really, aside from leaving runners on base, there's really not that much to complain about because they had 7 runs, which is amazing. They had 13 hits, amazing. They walked 5 times, which for the Giants is a crazy high number. And 8 of the 13 hits were extra base hits, which is amazing. That's awesome. That was kind of a problem. We're not hitting for much power, not slugging the ball, just kind of hitting it. But yesterday we were slapping the ball all around the field and hard contact off the Giants' bats. Jung Hoo leading off, 2 for 6. He scored a run, had a double. Arias had an RBI. Casey Schmidt did have go for 4. Not a very good game. He was just popping the ball up a lot. He was just missing some balls. Rafi Devers, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and a run scored. Loved the swings he was taking. And the best part, he did not strike out and he walked. Elliot Ramos, 2 for 6, 2 extra base hits. One was a mammoth homer. He had 2 RBIs and scored 3 runs. Love that. Adames, this is the thing that I'm most happy about, was his and Chapman's performance. He was 3 for 6 with 2 RBIs and an extra base hit. Chapman, 2 for 5 with the RBI and 2 doubles. Love that. Drew Gilbert was 0 for 4, but he did a walk. And then Rodriguez was 1 for 6, but the one hit was the game winner. And overall, I was very happy with the Giants' offense performance. Love to see the extra base hits. Love to see the walk numbers. Left way too many guys on base, but that's what you're gonna have in an extra base or extra inning game. 13 hits, 8 extra base hits, and 7 runs, which is more than the Pirates had, and that's all you can ask for, is enough to win the game, and the Giants won. I love this performance on the offense. It feels like everyone is getting hits back to back now. That's how you score runs, of course. If this can translate to LA, then we can start climbing back to 500. Great offensive performance. That's kind of the game yesterday. Others, what just happened? I hope it didn't glitch. I was just looking down, I look up, and I see it jump around out of the corner of my eyes. That's weird. But hey, we're just gonna move on now. We're going to talk about other baseball games. The Marlins won 5-2. The Orioles won 2-1. The Rays won 4-1. The Phillies won 6-0. The Angels won 6-1. The Reds won 5-0. The Twins won 5-4. The White Sox won 2-1. The Brewers walked off the Yankees. Wow, that's a bomb. 4-3. Rangers beat the Cubs 3-0. The D-backs beat the Mets 5-1. The Braves beat the Dodgers 7-2. The Padres walked off the Cardinals. 6-3 final between the Royals and the Tigers. Tigers won that one. And that brings us to today. Today the Angels and the Guardians play, the Yankees and the Orioles, the Rays and the Blue Jays, the D-backs and the Rangers, and the Mariners and the Astros. And of course, the best rivalry in baseball, allegedly, debatably. Sorry, I need some water. I'm going to pause real quick. I was pretty locked in, and I'm tired. All right, we're back. So, the Giants travel to Los Angeles to take on the team tied for second place in the NL West. Tied for first. I had time to think about that, and I still messed it up. But anyway, the Giants are headed to LA to take on the rival Dodgers. This is an important series. The Giants are 8 games under 500. The Dodgers are 8 games over 500. And look, we just need wins, period, but especially against a division rival. And let's be realistic here. The Dodgers are a very good team. Back-to-back World Series champs. The favorites this year as well. This is going to be a tough series. My hope is we can split. That's a realistic goal, is to take 2 out of 4, split the series. It's kind of about surviving. And if you can win the first game, then you only have to win one more to not lose ground. And there's potential to win the series, which would be great. Now, in my opinion, this is the best chance for the Giants in terms of the pitching matchup because it's Trevor McDonald, who is very inexperienced, yes. However, I really like Trevor McDonald, and he was brilliant his first time out. And the Dodgers pitcher is Roki Sasaki, who has had his struggles as a starter in his major league career. This series 1-3 with a 5.97 ERA. And I think this is a great chance for the Giants because the win yesterday gives momentum because it was a walk-off series win, 500 homestand. You'll take that. And the Dodgers, meanwhile, dropped their last two games to the very, very good Atlanta Braves. And maybe they're kind of licking their wounds a little bit. And Sasaki has definitely not been his best this season. And McDonald, meanwhile, has been in his one start, he was very good. And the offense has that momentum going. I think this is the best chance for the Giants because if you look at the other games, I mean, look who the Dodgers are going to be starting in those other games. Uh, well, you're going to get Yamamoto and then Otani and then probably Glass now. That's tough. Plus, it's in LA. Looking just purely from the pitching match. Well, I guess overall, the I feel like this is the best chance for the Giants to take a game from the Dodgers because McDonald's on the mound, and in his one start this year, he was brilliant. And Sasaki has not been very good this year. The Giants are coming off a walk-off win. The Dodgers are coming off two losses to the Braves. And the Giants have a little bit of momentum because they had 8 extra base hits yesterday, including 13 hits and 7 runs. So, this is a good chance for the Giants. Now, the one aspect the Dodgers have a major advantage in is the bullpen because they only used one reliever yesterday, even though they lost, and the Giants have used pretty much everybody. So the Dodgers have an advantage in the bullpen, but if we can get to a big lead, which is unlikely, but aside from the bullpen, the Giants are kind of favored in this matchup, dare I say it. So I think this is the best chance for us to take a game here. Um, kind of need to, or else the key here is really just about survival, which is tough because this is our division rival, our biggest rival, and when you really want to beat them, but you have the A's and the D-backs after, and that's still really really good teams, but not as good as the Dodgers. It's a 4-game set. You just want to try and win 2 games here, so you can try and make up ground later on the road trip. Plus, it's a long road trip. Want to start off on a good note. This is an important game for the Giants, and it's an important game for the Dodgers, and I'm just excited to see how it goes. I think it's going to be a close one. I mean, they all have been pretty much this year. Even the win for the Dodgers it was kind of close. It was only like 3-0. So, um, it's an important game. We'll move on now. We'll move on to the National Basketball Association, where the New York Knicks beat the Philadelphia 76ers 144 to 114, sweeping them. Historic victory, a 30-point lead, 30-point win. Their biggest lead was 44 in the fourth quarter. Even though Embiid had 24 and 28, it was not good enough, and the Knicks win another one. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. I don't know what there's to say. I mean, the Knicks just dominated this entire series, and they have a ton of momentum. The fans are very much into it, and even if the Pistons might be better, or maybe the Cavs might be better, that is a huge aspect. I feel like the Knicks have the most momentum. They have the most positive vibes. The vibes coming out of the Knicks organization are so strong right now. Very positive. And the whole ordeal. MSG is rocking every single game. They have the best vibe right now. And sometimes if you get hot at the right time, you can beat anybody. And the Knicks are hot at the perfect time. They beat the 76ers, sweeping them in 4 games. The next game was a lot more interesting. The Wolves tied up the series with the Spurs 114 to 109. The big story in this one, Wembanyama got ejected for elbowing Naz Reid in the face. Look out. It was blatant. It was obvious. He knew it. Everybody knew it. But I was kind of surprised at still how close it was. This is a big win for the Wolves. I mean, Anthony Edwards is a dog. He had 36 points. Fantastic. And yeah, I was kind of surprised the Spurs were as, competitive as they were without Wemby. I mean, it's a deep team, lots of good players, but Wemby is kind of the main guy there. Um, But yeah, just this is a big win for the Wolves because they really needed to even up this series. They did a good job. They got the win. They did what they had to do, and they won the game, tying it up, sending it back to San Antonio. So no Wemby, definitely a problem. But it's not like he's hurt or anything. Like he did that on his own power. So for the Wolves, they're not complaining. They won the game. They did what they had to do. For the Spurs, it's a good effort without your star player. And for Wemby, gotta control yourself there. But yeah, it was an interesting one. Then today, the Thunder can sweep the Lakers with a win. It's Thunder Lakers. And then the Pistons take on the Cavs. The Pistons with the 2-1 series lead after winning the first two games. The Cavs won the last one. Can they do it again? We'll see. WNBA yesterday. The Aces beat the Sparks 105-78. The Liberty beat the Mystics 98-93. And the Storm beat the Suns 89-82. The Valkyries beat the Mercury 95-79 in a good game for the Valkyries. Just a huge second quarter gave them a big advantage. Then the Mercury fought their way back into it in the third, and then late in the fourth, the Valkyries closed it out with a nice run. They went on a 40-13 run from the first quarter into the second quarter. Huge win. I think the big thing here, the Valkyries played great defense again. 24 points off turnovers to the Mercury 11. And I love that. Did not shoot the three ball particularly well, but they did not turn the ball over as much as the Mercury did, and they capitalized on their mistakes. Valks win it 95-79. Saloon had 21 points, shot 70%. Gabby had 19, KT had 19. Solid effort from the Valks. And the second win of the year. 2-0, baby. Then you have today the Dream take on the Wings, the Lynx take on the Mercury, and the Liberty take on the Fire. Liberty, my finals winner pick. They're 2-0. And then NHL yesterday. The Canadiens beat the Sabres 6-2. Montreal looks like the clear favorite now. After game one, it was like I get a little worried. But the Habs dominate games 2 and 3 and take a 2-1 series lead. 6 goals on 36 shots. The Sabres had 2 on 28. They still out-hit them. They dominated the face-off, 62% winner. They were 2 for 6 on the power play, while the Sabres were 1 for 4. Dobich was good. And Lyon, he had 31 saves, but he let in 5. Newhook was good. Caulfield was good. Slavkovsky had a goal. Newhook was very good. He had 2 goals in this game. And he hit 4 players. So, yeah, that's good. And solid win. Then the Ducks won 4-3, tie up the series at 2. Dostal had 18 saves. Hart had 19, but not a lot of shots. Kind of a lot of play in the middle of the ice there. But the Ducks were 2 for 4 on the power play, and the Knights were 1 for 3, and that's why they won, in my opinion. Today, one game, the Wild and the Avalanche. Avalanche kind of turned this series on its head with a big win in Game 3. Can they even up the series at home? I think so. I think, yes, they will do that. And that's going to... No. NBA Draft Lottery. The Wizards won it. And the Wizards are good. Let's think about this. They traded for Trae Young, who, if he can get back to his old self, is a top 5 point guard in the game. They traded for Anthony Davis, who, when healthy, is a top 5 center in the game. Is he a center? I don't know. Top 5 big man in the game. And now they also have Sarr, former number 1 pick, I believe. I think so. And now they have another number 1 pick, which is going to be used on AJ, I think. So That's a good lineup. I mean, let's just take a look at their roster right now. I mean, shoot. Um, the Wizards. What the hell? There we go. The Wizards. Uh, Sar. They have George. They have Anthony Davis, Trae Young, D'Angelo Russell as well. There are, I mean, the starting lineup, the bench is not very deep. The starting lineup can be a problem. If AD is healthy and Trae Young plays well and Sar can realize his potential, or he's the number 2 overall pick, sorry. Um, man, that can be a playoff team. Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here, but that is a possibility. And you know what? That's just gonna do it for today's episode. So, thank you everyone for watching today's episode, and go Giants. I'll see you tomorrow.